How well do you know your Disney quotes, Disney film scores, and Disney roller coasters? Let's find out and put you to the test with episode 82 of Disney 100 Jeopardy! 2,182 clues have come and gone, but 26 new ones are headed your way as part of this 82nd episode of Disney 100 Jeopardy! Welcome in. As always, I am your host, Bryan Perri, and thank you so much for joining me. Here are the rules on your screen, and there go the rules. They're simple rules. Just keep your own scores, and if you want to cheat, I couldn't care less, so be my guest. In last week's episode 81, the final Jeopardy category was Didn't Quite Make It. That's all about characters who were supposed to be in a Disney or Pixar movie and then got cut at the last second. That, of course, carries over to this episode 82 as we take a look at the board and see what else you'll be playing today. I've renamed it Didn't Quite Make It to Cut Characters. It will kick off this episode 82. The second category you'll be playing, Film Scores 2. If you want to play Film Scores 1, you got to go all the way back to episode 12, more than a year ago. This is how it works. I play you a snippet of a score from a Disney film, and you have to tell me what movie you'd hear that score in. The third category you'll be playing, Strange Definitions. All right, I had a lot of fun with this one. Here's how it works. I will give you the definition to a word from the Merriam-Webster Dictionary. You will simply have to tell me what word I am giving you the definition for. How does it tie to Disney? Well, all the words happen to be the name of Disney films. The fourth category you'll be playing, it's your Disney Parks category of the week, roller coasters. That's right, it's a category all about the different coasters you can ride at the 12 Disney parks sprinkled throughout the world. And the fifth and final category, as always, is your Club DJ member category of the week. What line comes next? This is another repeat category. The first time I did this was back in episode 35. I called it It's Your Line back then. The way it works is I will play you a clip from a Disney movie, and then I will pause it right before a character says a line. You will have to tell me exactly what that line is in order to get the points. And as a reminder, that was the selection all the DJ insiders made. Well, maybe not all of them, but 63% of the Club DJ members selected what line comes next. That's a pretty decisive victory when it comes to the polls. Toy Story 3 got absolutely decimated. No respect for one of the greatest Pixar movies ever. I will get to this week's poll in a little bit because there's some big news regarding this week and next week's poll. But first, it's the cupcake round. Each of these clues worth just 200 points each. Here we go. We kick things off with cut characters for 200. While Robin Williams stole the show as Genie in Aladdin, he was also contacted by Disney to play Breaker the Dolphin, a character that was originally planned for this animated film. Now, this is a pretty cool fun fact I just learned. 3 years before Aladdin came out in 1992, we were introduced to Ariel in 1989 in The Little Mermaid. In the original script, Ariel's dear friend under the sea was Breaker the Dolphin. And yes, he was supposed to be voiced by Robin Williams, though many believe that he makes an appearance in the under the sea scene right there. I believe that's who Breaker was supposed to be. You've got some concept art there as well. Pretty cool. It's kind of interesting that we didn't include a dolphin character in The Little Mermaid. I feel like everyone loves dolphins, right? Should have had a dolphin in The Little Mermaid. Flounder's okay though. Let's move on now to the second clue of the game. It's film scores, so listen up for 200 points. Correct answer is Beauty and the Beast. Who could forget that memorable music that played when a 10-year-old boy didn't allow a stranger into his house and therefore was cursed? We move on now to the third clue of the game. Here comes Strange Definitions. Having or showing mental or moral strength to face danger. What's the word? The word is brave, which of course is the title of Pixar's 2012 movie. Hopefully you get it, right? It's gonna get a little harder though. The definitions might not be so obvious as we move on. Here comes roller coasters for 200 points. Space or Big Thunder? This was the first roller coaster built at a Disney park following Disneyland's Matterhorn. For parts of 16 years, the Matterhorn stood as the only roller coaster at a Disney park. It finally met its match in 1975 when Walt Disney World opened Space Mountain. That's right, Space beat out Big Thunder. It actually beat it out twice because Space Mountain opened in Disneyland in 77. And then 2 years after that, Disneyland got Big Thunder, and then Magic Kingdom copied it in 1980. Here comes the final clue of the 200-point round. It belongs to the member category of the week of It's Your Line.
Brother, help me!
Long live the king.
5 clues are down, 21 remain as we make our way to the slightly more difficult 400-point round. Let's keep this game moving. We're on to cut characters for the second time. Proud of Your Boy is a song that was omitted from a Disney film after this character was scrapped from the story. Luckily, Proud of Your Boy did see the light of day thanks to the Broadway version of Aladdin, but it was cut from the 1992 movie because Aladdin's mother was cut from the film. Here we go with our second film score of the day. One of Pixar's most successful movies ever that belongs to Inside Out. We're on to strange definitions for the second time. Remember, this is the title of a Disney movie. A wood or metal bar or rod used to fasten a door. Correct answer is bolt.
There. You're a good boy.
Ah, see, you might have been thinking lightning bolt, but technically this is also the definition in the Merriam-Webster dictionary for the word bolt. We move on to the second clue from the roller coaster category, so hang on to your hats and glasses. Before Tron was built, this was the fastest roller coaster at the Magic Kingdom. Clocking in at an absurd speed of 36 miles per hour. The correct answer is Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. That's right, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad is faster than Space Mountain. It's hard to believe, but Space Mountain in the Magic Kingdom only goes 27, 29 miles per hour. It doesn't even hit 30, which is pretty wild. It's just, I guess, when you're in the dark, it feels like you're flying. Here we go with the final clue of the 400-point round. It's time to finish the scene by saying the line.
Uh-oh.
Don't tell me. We're about to go over a huge waterfall.
Yep,
Sharp rocks at the bottom?
most likely. Uh-oh.
Don't tell me. We're about to go over a huge waterfall.
Yep,
Sharp rocks at the bottom?
most likely.
Bring it on.
You're probably doing pretty well, right? Through the first 10 clues, I hope so. It's about to get even harder, though, via the 600-point round. Let's test that knowledge by starting off with cut characters. Jack Savage was the name of the original planned protagonist for this Disney feature animation film. If you know me well, you know it's my favorite Disney movie ever. The correct answer is Zootopia. Hey, I'll be honest, he looks pretty cool, and the name Jack Savage is a pretty sick name, but I'm happy we got Judy and Nick, because without Judy and Nick, we don't get the Zootopia that we know and love. Here we go with another film score. This one's worth 600 points. It's time to party in the streets of Paris. That score belongs to Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Look at that disgusting display.
Here we go with the third strange definition of the day. It's worth 600. Placed under or as if under a magic spell. Open up the Merriam-Webster dictionary and you will find that this is one of the definitions for the word enchanted.
This is a very nice place.
Yeah?
And we're eating dinner.
Yeah.
This is a date.
Yeah. No.
We're back to roller coasters for the third time. The longest American Disney roller coaster is this one that clocks in at over 6,000 feet in length. I believe there are only 2 Disney roller coasters in the entire world that stretch more than a mile in track length, a mile being 5,280 feet. Thank you. Remember the Titans?
How many feet are in a mile? 5,280 feet.
Those coasters are Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind at Epcot, but that is not the longest one. The longest one, the only one to go over 6,000 feet in length, is the Incredicoaster at California Adventure. Final clue of the 600-point round lets you finish the line.
And I half expected it to be made of wood. You are without doubt the worst pirate I've ever heard of.
But you have heard of me.
15 clues down as we shuffle our way over to the 800-point round and make it even harder. It starts off with cut characters. Senorita Cactus was a planned antagonist for this Pixar film before getting replaced. Look at that, I even told you it was a Pixar film, so that narrows it down to what, about 30? Now, the correct answer is Toy Story 2. That's right, Senorita Cactus was supposed to be in the movie instead of Jessie. Luckily, the cowgirl made her way in. Let's see how well you know that Disney music. It's film scores for the 4th time. Probably my favorite soundtrack to any live-action Disney movie. It was all created by Daft Punk. That song was from Tron Legacy. Let's move on to the 4th clue from the Strange Definitions category. An extraordinary event manifesting divine intervention in human affairs. I feel like this is a really difficult category. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe you're all getting these right, but I feel like this is the most Jeopardy-esque category I've done in a while. The correct answer here is miracle. In the history of Walt Disney World, 10 roller coasters have been built across the 4 theme parks. This is the only coaster that is no longer standing. The correct answer is Primeval Whirl from Animal Kingdom. Final clue before the 1,000 point round belongs to the category of It's Your Line.
So intimidate me all you want. I'm going to find out what you did to that otter if it's the last thing I do.
Ma, then I have only one request. Say hello to Grandmama. Isom.
Whoa! I didn't see nothing. I'm not saying nothing.
And you never will.
20 clues are down and 6 remain, including Final Jeopardy. But before we get there, I'm down. You know what time it is. It is time for the most overly dramatic soundtrack and infused unnecessarily spotlighted part of the game, the 1,000 point round. Hit it. 1,000 point round is always fun, right? It's not too stressful until you start seeing the clues. Here we go. This one is a cut character worth 1K in points. This is Bo. What was Bo supposed to be in? This basset hound is tied to Tangled. That's right. Believe it or not, this was going to be Rapunzel's love interest. Yes, but let it be known that Rapunzel was also going to turn into a squirrel in the original Rapunzel movie. I believe it was called Rapunzel or Rapunzel Untangled or Unbraided or something like that. Here comes your final film score of the game. Worth 1,000. That music is from one of the most traumatic scenes I've ever seen in a movie theater. It is played during the dramatics of the toys accepting their fate in Toy Story 3. Man, that scene was something. I was like, they're just gonna kill him like that? Man, that would have been crazy if that's how the movie ended. Let's move on to your final strange definition of the game. Incapable of being changed, moved, or undone. I could have gone the very simple definition route and given you the definition that says when water freezes, it is frozen, but this is also a definition in Merriam-Webster. The correct answer is frozen.
Yeah, I bet she's the nicest, gentlest, warmest person ever. Oh, look at that. I've been impaled.
Let's put our hands up for the final roller coaster clue of episode 82. When it opened in 1993, this international Disney coaster was the first in company history to feature an upside-down loop. It was actually the first attraction themed to Indiana Jones at a Disney park. The correct answer is Indiana Jones and the Temple of Peril, which can be found at Disneyland Paris. If you go to Tokyo, you can ride Raging Spirits, which is essentially the same exact ride. It's a different maker, but the layout is nearly identical. There are two coasters that feature one big loop in the middle. And it's time for your final clue before Final Jeopardy. Let's take a look at the 1,000 pointer. Where it's your line.
No one wanted to adopt me.
Whiz kid Cornelius Robinson graduates from college at age 14. This year's Nobel Prize goes to a young Cornelius Robinson.
Hey Goop, what's up? Cool binder.
Hey, Goop, wanna come over to my house today?
Hey Goop, what's up? Cool binder.
Hey, Goop, wanna come over to my house today?
They all hated me.
The board has been wiped clean. If you are doing very poorly, you can turn it around right now, I promise. Thanks to Final Jeopardy. Let's see what the category is in this episode 82. The 2000s. All right, I'll tell you now, the 2000s don't incorporate the last decade and a half. This is just 2000 to 2009. I didn't know what to call it because I've done the 2010s, I've done the 90s, the 80s, and 70s. This is just the double zeros. I guess. No, they wouldn't be double zeros because there's a number at the end. Anyway, 2000 to 2009. Wager based on your knowledge of Disney and Pixar during that decade. And time is up. As a reminder, you can visit the Bunny Eclipse shop to get the official Disney 100 Jeopardy merch in order to rock shirts like this. Hello, Belle. Here comes the clue. This was Pixar's highest grossing film between 2000 and 2009. Good luck. And time is up. If you look back at 2000 to 2009, man, Pixar was on a hot streak. All these original films, none of them were sequels because Toy Story 2 came out in '99. Toy Story 3 came out in 2010. So from 2000 to 2009, it was just brand new original stories, but no story did better at the box office than this one. Correct answer is Finding Nemo.
Don't touch the Nemo!
He touched the butt.
And that does it for episode 82 of Disney 100 Jeopardy. Thank you all, Club DJ Insiders. Couldn't do this without you guys. And I do have that news that I was going to tell you about regarding this week's poll. Here is the news. If you were a fan of a category that lost in a previous poll, this is some good news for you. As you can see in this week's poll, it includes 4 categories that were losers in previous polls. Meaning it is second chance week. It will also be second chance week next week when I include 4 other categories that lost in previous polls. So if you are a fan of one of these, and I know there are a lot of Owl House fans out there, make sure to lock in your vote to solidify that your favorite category will appear in next week's episode 82. One category that we definitely know will appear, the 2000s. That of course will lead off episode 83 next week. If you do want to join Club DJ, click the join button below me if you are on a computer. Thanks again everyone for watching. Now you know the deal. If you like what you saw, be sure to subscribe and click that bell icon. Hello, bell. This way, you're notified every time we come out with brand new content. I've been your host, Bryan Perri. I will see you next week for episode 83. Until then.
Bye-bye.